Hi! Just wanted to let you guys know that this is a COD style video and I am going to explain how I got into K-pop. Okay, so, I wrote down a list of things that, well, not things, just kind of how I got into K-pop. My story isn't really that special to some people, but it's special to me because I love K-pop and, I kind of fell down a hole in 2017 and I never climbed back up. So I'm still here and I still love K-pop and yeah, I like K-pop except for BTS, but if you guys did not know, I made a video explaining that whole thing. It was the last video I made. It came out like 3 weeks ago. Yeah. That's all I have to say. I'm not good at being consistent. I mean, I tried, but you know, I kind of got bored of playing COD every day before I went to sleep. Well, yeah, that wasn't even a word. Anyway, how I got into K-pop is the topic of this video, and I hope you guys enjoy the story. If you do, uh, ask me questions in the comments because I get super unmotivated when I don't know what to do. So, yeah. Alright. So, my story is kind of complicated. I never really like just listened to K-pop when I started off. I actually saw this video uploaded by this YouTuber named Faye, and I still watch her today. And the first video I saw her do was she basically had a K-pop group named Obtention on her YouTube channel, and what they did was they did her makeup, and I love makeup. I'm sure you guys know if you are subscribed or if you've seen any of my other videos, but I do love makeup. And, you know, there were 9 boys in the studio and they were doing her makeup and they were filming a show for themselves. Those two will be linked in the description below. But, yeah, both of them were just, well, not both of them. They were filming a video together and I thought it was pretty cool. So I watched the whole video and I was like, oh my gosh, this is pretty cool and the boys are pretty funny. So I decided to go in the description box of her video and they were promoting their show called Attention Please, and I saw the whole thing and I watched it and I had no idea what their names were. I just watched it just cuz, and I'm glad I did because it was cool. And even at the last episode, I had no idea what their names were. They made English names, and oh boy, did I remember those names? No. Do I remember them now after rewatching it? No. It took me a year to memorize all of their names, but that's a story for another time. Anyway, so I watched this all in the summer of 2017, and before school started, I would just like go to her job because I had nothing better to do and I'd like to help out my grandmother. And in the time when she didn't need my help, I would be on the computers in her job because she worked in the office, and I would just watch these videos and I watched it again. I saw the show like 5 times, including how many times I've seen it up till now. That doesn't make any sense, does it? It probably doesn't. I've seen it 5 times up till now. Like current time, like June 22nd, 2020. I almost forgot what day it was. Anyway, so yeah, I saw it again, and I still had no idea what their names were. And I eventually wanted to listen to their music because I figured out that they were K-pop idols. I had no idea what K-pop was, like actually. So I wanted to listen to their music and I went to go search up their name and I forgot their name. So I was just sitting there like wondering what their name was, and I watched the show both on Viki and on YouTube. So it was in my recommended feed and I was like, okay, well, I didn't know what history was because I could have just went back into my YouTube history, but I didn't do that. And instead, a song was recommended in my recommended feed on YouTube, and that song was Never Ever by GOT7. And oh boy, did I love that song. I loved it so much, and I still do. It's just now that I've heard the song a decent amount of times, like 1,000 times, it's kind of like cringy now. But that's not the point. I heard the song and I loved it. And in my notes here, I wrote, it was a bop. I keep on saying that, and I'm like, I feel so old because no one says that anymore, but it was a bop, okay? Let's just, yeah. Anyway, and I even wrote that I forgot what Obtention was, and I found it again. I found Obtention again after that because they were in my recommended feed, and this time it was for their debut song, So Dangerous. And the music video came on, and I loved it so much. I don't, at this point, I don't know why, but I did, and I still do, and I'm glad that I do because, I mean, it could be a bit cringy, but it's really good. Like, go stream So Dangerous by Attention. Go listen to all their music. That's a shameless plug, but do it, even though it's not me. Uh, just do it because you won't regret it. Anyway, I got hooked on their dance practices. Those boys are so talented, both GOT7 and Obtention. Cause in the time after I found Never Ever, I listened to every single GOT7 title track, and I would watch their dance practices and the things I didn't notice and just all of those, and I got hooked, and then I got hooked onto Obtentions, and Obtentions is way more complicated than I feel like any GOT7 dance, but I'm not great at dancing in dancing. I'm not good at dancing, so it's probably just, but yeah. Anyway, a few days later, I went to my grandmother's job again, and I was grounded, by the way, and GOT7's new album teaser came out, and I couldn't watch it because, well, number one, I was grounded, but I was at her job and I was using the computers anyway, and I also couldn't watch it because the video, or not the video, but the computer in her job didn't allow like watching YouTube videos at all, so I couldn't see it, and I was really mad. So I went to GOT7's website, and it had like a album teaser, and it was like purple and black, and it had 747 somewhere on the thing. I can't remember where. And I was so excited, but I couldn't watch it. So that was nice. So instead of watching it, I decided to go on some random Korean website, and it's kind of funny because I had no idea what it was saying, but like I knew that I wanted to be there, and I found Honey's fan cam, Honey from Heyitsfeiii, and the fan cam was from Up and Down, which is the song, and that's the exact same fan cam that made them popular. So there was no audio because the computer didn't work for audio, and the video wasn't on YouTube either, so it was fine, but goodness gracious, I fell in love with that, and so I kinda watched it, and then I got obsessed with it. And from there, I ended up loving Heyitsfeiii, and I watched every single title track when I got home when I was not grounded. And I remember having to wait a few days for GOT7 to come back, and I was like really mad. But I listened to it, and I attempted to add Never Ever, like the title track, on my SoundCloud, and they didn't have it, so I ended up adding the whole Flight Log Arrival album. And then I tried adding Up and Down, but I don't have the premium thing for SoundCloud, so it was just like a preview, and then Obtention's title tracks, and one of them was Catch Me, but it was a nightcore, sadly. And from there, I just started getting into them. And I remember one night I was going to school because school started, and I had to go to this after school program because my grandmother worked at night. So I listened to the whole Flight Log Arrival album on my way home, like at night, and it was like so cool. And I never knew that I was into those kind of musics and that kind of like scene, because it was like they were electric songs, and the songs there just opened my mind, and from there I just slowly moved into other K-pop groups, and that's kind of how my story just started. And if you're wondering, the groups I got into was NCT/Wavy, Twice, and Blackpink. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and comment, and I'll see you next time.